Hey everybody, I'm Robin Thicke and you are watching MSN Exclusive.
Robin, thanks so much for doing this, man.
Oh,
Appreciate
thanks for having me, yeah.
We got Blurred Lines, a new record.
Hey.
Thank you for doing that. So I hear white people are claiming you back.
Yes, a little bit, yeah.
But I think as Canadians, we kind of want to claim you now, too.
Yes,
Well, you're a little Canadian.
With every right. I'm half Canadian, yeah.
Are you technically,
Well, I was
though?
born in Los Angeles, so I'm a dual citizen.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
we'll take it.
I'll take
We're going to
it,
claim
too.
that. Yeah, all right. So just shot a video for Give It To You.
Yes.
The next single. Tell me, what can you tell me about this video?
Oh man, it's an extravaganza, very exciting. Kendrick Lamar, 2 Chainz are both in the video, and it's kind of based on a halftime Super Bowl spectacle kind of a thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kendrick was on the show last week telling us about how
great.
when you said you wanted him as part of the track, he was just like, yes, no matter what, whatever Robin Thicke wants, I will do it.
That's very kind.
And then I heard it took him forever to send you the verse, so then you got 2 Chainz.
Right, it took a couple months because he said he loved the record, but he was on tour, so he didn't jump right on it. And so I called 2 Chainz, got him to do a verse, and then a week after I had 2 Chainz do his verse, Kendrick, I get an email saying, here's Kendrick's verse. And I was like, oh my God, which was great. It was a double blessing.
So Kendrick's on the single, but if you buy the record, you get the
2 Chainz
remix with
also,
both.
yeah.
That's amazing. I love it. So was the album always going to be called Blurred Lines, or because the single became so huge, it had to be?
Well, I never really conceptualize an album. You know, I don't tell myself, I don't come up with a title or know what I'm gonna do. I just write a bunch of songs and record and pick my favorites and see if there's a theme running through it at the end. You know, so. My wife actually came up with the blurred lines for the title because of things that were going on in my life, and she thought that it would be a great title.
And she wrote on "Get in My Way." Is that right?
Well, yeah, she writes.
She has a writing credit.
Yeah, she's written on a bunch of songs with me. "Get in My Way." I think she wrote something else on the album too. I can't remember which one right now.
That's all I have. I don't know which one. Here are the song titles if you want to.
Yeah, I can't remember what other one she helped with.
Well, I hear she helps you write lyrics anyway. Like
Yeah,
she'll
she
be
does.
like, I don't like this line, this kind of thing, and scratches things out.
She
for
helped
you.
with The Good Life a little bit too, but
Okay.
I didn't give her any credit. She had to remind me. She was like, don't you remember I helped you with The Good Life? Because it was so long ago. I was like, did you help me with that one? I forgot. But,
So long ago. So how long have these songs been kicking around?
well, Good Life I wrote about 8 years ago. And,
Wow.
For the Rest of My Life was about 8 years ago, same thing, and all the other ones are new.
For the Rest of My Life is a personal tune. You've been saying a lot. This is your least personal record, but
Yeah.
that sounds like a personal kind of song.
They're always personal anyway. I just meant because when I normally write, every song is exactly what I'm going through at that moment when I write the song. And as you can tell from some of them are just based on sensuality and getting people to party and you get them on the dance floor. And
Yeah.
I've only done that a couple times before, but this album was really based on fun, you know.
It is fun, and I hear the 3-year-old had a say in trying to make the record fun as well.
Yeah, that's probably why it's so much more fun. I wanted him to like it too, so it's a lot younger and more fun.
I like that. And he's on a track too.
Yes,
He kicks off the Cat Williams one.
Ain't no hat for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my dad. What happened was it became a family affair because I was working on the song and my son walks in and goes, "What you working on, Daddy?" And I said, "My new song is called Ain't No Hat for That." And he said, "Ain't no hat for that." And it sounded so cute when he said it. I said, "Wait a second, come here, say that on the microphone." So now he kicks off the song.
And your dad, Alan, writes, or is part of it. He's got credits on it and is in it?
Yeah, well, no, he's not in it, but he was actually working on a song in my studio when I was writing that. So I came in the studio and I was like, "Dad, I need the mic for a minute. Let me put this idea down." And he started whispering great lyrics into my ear, and they worked great. So
Is it the first time you two have collaborated?
We collaborated a little more when I first got started. When I was like 14, you know, he'd help me with a couple songs, and we wrote a few things together. But this was the first time, probably since then, that we wrote a full song.
That's
together.
cool.
Yeah,
Everything coming full circle. That's
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Blurred Line. I got to talk about the song. It's the biggest thing in the world. Every week there's a new accolade. There's a new thing happening.
Yeah.
So since you're involved in it a little more than I am, obviously, what's the newest accolade with the song? What's happening now with it?
Oh man, well I guess this last week was pretty cool. You know, having the #1 song and album, and they said it broke some new records and stuff. You know, I just over the moon, grateful and excited about this.
Is it a blessing or a curse to have a song that big?
Oh, it's definitely a blessing. I mean, maybe it's a curse if you're, an 18-year-old kid and you don't know how to handle it, but when you're a grown up and you have this kind of success, you just, you can pay some bills, you can call the IRS and say, I got it.
Finally.
Yeah.
20 years later, I have it for you.
Yeah, I got it for you.
And it's funny because it's like we live in such a culture now where everything is right now, in and out. And then Jimmy Fallon does a song with you a week ago. Yeah. And I feel like it's back in the public consciousness. Not that it ever really left,
right,
but it feels like the younger crowd is now on it again.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what's great about the social media. It has its negativity, but what's great about social media is you can do something fresh, at any moment. And, people are always looking for something new, something fresh, something they've never seen before. And the Fallon moment was great. He's got such an amazing sense of humor, and it was just great. It came out great,
Talking about kids, it was the 25th anniversary of the Gretzky trade last week. It was all over the news, and you have a story about picking up that phone call. Is this true?
Yeah, very cool. My father was out of town taking my brother on a trip through Europe, and I was at home for about 10 days going to baseball camp, and Wayne and Janet ended up staying at the house sitting for the 10 days while my dad was gone. And I get the phone call rings, and the phone rings in the morning. It's about 7:30 in the morning, and Bruce McNall, who's the owner of the Kings, says, I need to talk to Wayne. And I said, oh, he's sleeping right now. Can you call back later? He says, you need to wake him up. This is very important. So I'm like knocking on the door. I'm like, Wayne, Bruce is on the phone, And I leave to go to baseball camp, come back later in the day, and he's standing at a podium talking about I've been traded to the Kings. And I was like, really? Did I answer the phone?
That was nice for you living in LA though at the time. Gretzky gets to now be home.
Well, and he was honestly the nicest guy. We would play tennis. He would take me to McDonald's in his Rolls Royce convertible.
That's nice.
It was a pretty cool time. Yeah.
So Blur, back to the record because that's what we're here to talk about. Sorry, I wanted to get that story from you. So you're playing a show at the amphitheater in a couple of weeks, and then there's a few shows in the States, and then UK in January. Yeah. So when are we going to see you on tour though?
We're going to do we're going to do a full world tour, probably spring and summer of next year. This year we're going to do some spot dates and mostly do promotion. Please all the radio stations that have been so supportive and all that stuff, and then we'll put together a big tour for next year.
So so what is the plan for the rest of the year? Just promo kind of thing?
Yeah, the plan is I don't get more than a couple days off for the whole year. That's for sure. My schedule is already locked through January 1st.
Is that a blessing or a curse?
Oh, it's definitely a blessing financially. It's
no, I mean knowing where you have to be every day for the next 6 months.
It's a little daunting, but I just take it day by day and stay grateful and thank God for this opportunity and try to spend as much time with my family in between as I can.
Cool. Back to the tour for a second. Opening for Beyonce. Everyone was raving about her shows this summer. The greatest performer in the world after the Super Bowl thing. Everyone came out of that show being like, you would not believe how good that show was. Right. So when you were opening for her a few years ago, what did you learn as a performer?
Oh, I guess just being around her, you see that level of perfectionism, that level of work ethic and talent, and it's very rare when you see somebody that talented who continues to work that hard when they've already been on top for years. And that's why she'll stay on top forever, because she just never stops working. Are you going to be doing the through the floor smoke jumps and all this kind of thing? I don't know. We actually are going to go for it on this tour. Oh, really? Oh, nice. Yeah, we're going to go for it. It won't. I don't know about smoke jumps, but that's not what they call them. Yeah, we're gonna put on a show that. I mean, I've always kind of done the band and horn section, and never had any dancers or any girls or anything like that. And so at this time, I think we're going to want to put on more of a production for people. Nice. Yeah. We do something called 5 questions. 5 quick questions when we're done. But we're going to do 6 because I knew you grew up on hip hop. Okay. Road or studio? Oh, studio for sure. Lennon or McCartney? Gotta go Lennon. Pac or Biggie? Biggie. When you hear a song, what usually hits you first? Lyrics, melody, or rhythm? Feeling. Oh, good. I've never heard that before. I'm a feel guy. I like that. Yeah. Something it makes me feel a certain way, and then normally the vocal will pull me in. If I love the vocal, then I'll stick with it. I don't know how someone couldn't have heard of Robin Thicke at this point, but the question is usually, if someone's never heard Robin Thicke, what song do they start with? Oh, well, it depends on the audience. I mean, I think Blurred Lines is probably the best one now, because what I like about Blurred Lines is it shows my sense of humor, you know. It has some jokes in it, and that's more what my first album was, and then I got into some more introspective, soul-searching type music for a while. But really, I'm a fun guy, and I'm a party guy, and I think that this song and this album really represents more of my personality than I've ever shown before.
In one word, Robin Thicke.
Soulful.
Nice. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate it.
Thank
Good
you,
talking
man.
to you.
Yeah, great to talk to you too.
Okay.